are going to deal with the Helen Keller. This is the story about a girl who was born in a very small town. Okay, she is not from India, but she has been born in USA. Okay, and in the year 1880, but she was having a difficulty in that to that is she cannot talk properly. This is very what you call it's a disability of that. Okay, so you have to learn something from that girl. Okay, let us try to understand. I'll read the lesson, then we will continue with the explanation. I will tell you the story in short only. Okay, I'm not going to explain this with the full line by line. I'll read the story and explain to you. Okay, this is the story of a child who became completely deaf and blind before she had learned to talk. What is the Helen Keller story is based that she was a child, but she is having completely deaf and blind. Because of her own courage and also that of her wonderful teacher, she learned to talk and write. Okay, she was deaf. She cannot able to listen what exactly what we are talking, as well as she was blind. She cannot able to see what are the colors we have, what are the surroundings, how do we look, nothing. She was blind. But because of her courage, the guts or the what we call the what she wanted to learn, because of that she has, and she was also having a teacher, a wonderful teacher who helped her, and because of that she learned to talk and to write. Okay, she was able to go to school and to do the college and to live a full and happy life. Let us try to understand about the Helen Keller. Helen was born in 1880 in a small town in the southern USA. At 18 months, when she was beginning to talk, she suddenly became terribly ill and nearly died. When she recovered, she was completely deaf and blind. Okay, she was not from the born, but she was not deaf and blind when she born, but when she was 18 months old, okay, that time she was fallen ill, and because of that illness she has completely become deaf and blind. It was very difficult for a deaf child to learn and talk. Most babies learn by hearing other people's talking, but the deaf child cannot hear anyone. So how can we know what sound talking sound like? Many deaf people learn to lip understanding what other people are saying by watching their lips. But when Helen could not see and what other peoples were doing, she remembered a few words she had known before she was ill. Okay, when she was started to talk from the year approximately in the month of 7th or 8th, we started to talk Baba, Mama. So she remembered that word only. She remembered a few words when she was fallen ill before that. Okay, for distance, she went on calling water Baba, but she had to make a sign of most things. She could not shake her head for no and nod her head for yes. Okay, she don't have that much senses. She don't have that much understanding that for no we have to for saying no we have to nod our head like this. For yes we have to nod our head like this. She don't know. She don't have an idea. Okay. Pull means come. Okay, when we say pull, that means coming in, and push means go. She don't know that also. The basic idea of the word she don't have. But of course, she could say very little like this. And she depended entirely on the other people. Yet, Helen had an active mind and a clever brain and wanted to do. and say everything any other child would. She used to go into terrible tempers when she could not explain what she meant or understand what other wanted. Okay, she don't have the basic knowledge. Okay, when she was in 18 months, she lost everything. But because of her mind, brain power, because of her courage, she covered up early. She not even spend her time in crying. She don't even spend her time sitting alone. But she was very much curious to learn the things, whether she is cannot able to hear, whether she cannot able to see, but then also she was very curious to learn that. Then when Heller was nearly 7, okay, Annie Sullivan came to teach her. Okay, she must be appointed. The new teacher was appointed when she was 7 years old. That is teacher Annie Sullivan. She came to teach her and look after her. Okay, all the time she is going to live with her, take care of her, and also help her to learn. This clever and devoted teacher changed Helen's life. She was very much attached with the Helen that she wanted to cover up Helen's teaching. And because of that teacher only, when she started to look after, she started to teach, she started to explain her. Annie Sullivan herself had been nearly blind and had been at the school for blind people. Okay. She was blind and she was being gone to the blind people school. Then Annie had learned a finger spellings method. She felt sure that this was the way only. She felt sure that this was the only way to talk to Helen and teach her to say what she wanted. Because Helen could not see her making the signs, she would spell the words onto her pupil's hand. Helen had become very sensitive for the feels and things, much more sensitive than more peoples are. She could soon tell the difference between the feel of one letter and the another. Now, here I would like to connect you with the movie. One movie was there, Amitabh Bachchan's movie with, I think, Rani Mukherjee is there. In that movie, they have shown the Helen Keller's life. She was deaf, she was blind, but then also when the teacher entered in her life, she was understanding that how to feel that words, how to feel or how to be sensitive with the words. Okay, once you are finished with this lecture, just go to the YouTube and search it for that. You will come to know. Okay. Yes, the movie name is Black. Miss Sullivan gave Helen a doll, and when she gave it, she spelled the letter DOLL onto Helen's hand. Okay, that means she never said that, but when she wanted to give that spelling with the feel, she gave that letter. She did it with the names of other things, like such as CAKE and MUG. That means cake and the mug. Helen obediently spelled them back. Okay, the teacher started to teach her. Okay, with the feel. When she started to move her hand on that palm, she was able to spell these words. She did not understand what it all meant, but soon grief bored, and meant and unhappy. She would not try anymore. And poor Ellen did not want to do that. Okay. At some point of time, she lost her hope. But the teacher was so motivated and she was wanted that Helen to learn these things. She started to give her a motivation. Then one day, Miss Sullivan took Helen outside of the water pump. The water spilled out into the Helen's mug and overflowed on her hand. Miss Sullivan spilled water on her hand. Suddenly, Helen's felt lift up. She understand the water was the name of this cold, wet stuff. And then it came to her in the flash that everything had a name. Okay, with this experience, she came to know that whatever we feel, whatever we can, are having a particular name. So, after touching her little sister, she spelled B-A-B-Y, that is baby, which was one of the words Miss Sullivan had shown to her. All that day for the days after, Helen darted from one thing to the next, demanding that Miss Sullivan should spell their names on her hand. She became so excited she could hardly control herself. Okay, now she got the idea that everything has a word and I can feel that. I can give the spelling. And after this idea, she was not even, was very excited to learn everything. At last, word began to give the meaning to her. She started to create or imagine that word, the picture of that word in her mind. She then learned the names of actions as well as the things. A sit, stand, run, walk. All these ideas the Sullivan started to give her. And then the description of that things in the actions, that hard, soft, quickly, slowly. From then on, she was able to learn any child does. Helen spelled the word with the fingers instead of saying them aloud. Although she made noises, she could not talk. Okay, if she was not able to talk, but then also she started to make a noise. Now that she had started to learn, Helen, with her quick brain and the good memory, learned very fast indeed. She learned to spell word incredibly fast, and soon she had her beloved teacher could have long conversation. Wherever they went, Miss Sullivan described things to her and told her what people were saying. Helen soon learned to write on a special frame which writes to keep a line straight, and later she learned to type it. She began to read the Braille books. Braille is a type of uh, method where blind people follows that. With the help of dot, they follow these books. Okay, you can go to the YouTube. You will come to know about the Braille books. The next thing was to learn to talk aloud. For this, she had a special teacher who had taught her how to move her lips and tongues. Helen quickly learned to talk about and listen to the people speaking by putting her sensitive fingers on their lips. Okay, what she do? She keeps the finger, and when someone is talking, she try to read that with the feel. Now, this meant that she could not talk with the people whom did know with the finger spelling method. So as long as they speak distinctly, all this was hard work, needing endless patience by both pupil and the teacher and the long practice. Okay, if some new people entered in her life, they would just not react, but what the teacher would say, you should have the patience. Then she will try to understand your leg movements and then she will talk with you. So according to that, with the help of that, they started to learn. In time, she could talk, read and write, and even learn to speak. Okay, this much she must have learned with the help of her brilliant brain. Okay, she learned to talk small words. She learned to write the words in a Braille language. Okay, French and German. She learned two languages. Now, Helen was determined to go to the university and take her degree. Yes, what she was not able to listen, she was not able to watch, but because of her courage, because of her curiosity, she learned the all the things and she covered up her studies. Okay. And Helen was determined to go. Now she was ready to go to the university for taking her degree. When she was 20, she sat for the entrance examination for Radcliffe College. Yes, just imagine we are having all the senses. We can talk, we can read, we can listen, we can see the videos, but then also we lack somewhere. Yes or no? We lack somewhere. No? We are having some of the things which we cannot do. But Helen, imagine the girl lost her ears and the eyes. She is giving the entrance exam in a university from the college Radcliffe. Just imagine that was the history. One of the best college of America. Yes, that was the best college from America. The papers were set in Braille, okay, and she typed her answers, of course, in that language only. She could not read what she had written. She had to take a chance that she had made no mistake. She had no difficulty in passing the examination and entering the Radcliffe. Okay, she was having the difficulty, but then also she gave the examination and she passed it. Mr. Sullivan was the Helen's all through the time at the university. She was with her. In the end, the girl who at 7 had lived a dark world, unable to hear and speak, won high university honor. Just imagine, at the age of 7, she was unable to see, unable to listen, but at the age of 20, she has given an entrance exam and won the high university honor. Mind blowing. Throughout her life, she helped the other blind people. Yes, she never stopped by herself only, but she spent her life in helping the other blind people to find their courage. She traveled all over the world, inspiring everyone by her example. She was not only limited to herself, but she went all over the world telling people that, look, I am the example. I am blind. I cannot talk, but then also I am the scholar. So don't just lose the hope. Try to give up. Do it. Don't give up. Okay, this was the example of Helen Keller. Helen Keller lived to a ripe old age for 88. Yes. How many years she lived? She covered up the age up to the 88. And at the end of that, she passed away in the 1968. Yes, she reached everything what she wanted to achieve. And then at the age of 88, she died in the year 1968. This was the Helen Keller, who was handicapped, but she reached the goal which she wanted to. Okay, this is all about Helen Keller. I hope you all must have understood. Try to read the lesson once again. Try to watch the video as we don't have the sharing option. Try to watch the video on YouTube. Try to find out the information about Helen Keller. And one more, that you can watch the movie Black, which is made in India. You can correlate this and just take something, inculcate that values in yourself, that I'm in 5th standard, I am much better than Helen Keller. And I wanted to cover up. Okay, I will not lose my hopes. I will do it and I will achieve the goal. So set your goal and do it. Just don't give up. That is my intention. Please don't give up in any situations. Try to find out, try to fight with that situation. Don't even spend your time in crying. Okay? Learn something from Helen Keller and just work accordingly. My best wishes are with you. And here we are going to stop with that lesson.